Hello everyone. I hope life is treating you well. Today's Today's video is this wreath that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And as you can see, the regular price on this wreath was $23.99, but I found this in their clearance area in my local Hobby Lobby store. And when I purchased this, I really like just the simple fall vibe that it gives of when the leaves are turning and things of that nature. So it's really gave a good neutral color palette, I would say, to kind of like do a lot of things or add whatever type of flowers or decor or whatever your heart desires. So I decided I wanted to use this wreath and use some of the items that I just have laying around from previous craftings that I have done, crafting projects or any type of floral arrangement projects. I really want this item just to be something kind of simple to place on my basement door. So as you can see, the flowers that I'm using, some of them there again came from previous crafting projects. A lot of times I do try to store and keep things that I do not use. So I came across this. I can't tell you where I got this. I want to say I think I got this flower from one of my other favorite stores, which is a thrift store called Park Avenue Thrift Outlet, where they bag a bunch of items together for just one price. So whatever is in this bag, you just pay that one price. It could be a diamond ring that they put in this bag, but if it's out this bag and stapled together, it's only going to be whatever price for that day. And at this particular thrift store, I think the highest price is $2.75 or $2.50. So they start from the highest price and then they just work the price on down to where on Wednesdays it's 50-cent day. And mainly on Wednesdays, 50-cent day, it's mainly clothing. You can rarely find something. Sometimes on 50-cent day, they can have something buy one and get one free. So it's just whatever. It's nothing that they have in particular all the time. That's the same. It's just whatever day you go, you just try your luck for what's going on that day. As you can see, I do add a generous amount of hot glue to the flowers, so that way I will make sure that they will adhere to the floral arrangement. Sometimes when you do purchase some of the arrangements, there's never a generous amount of hot glue, and sometimes the flowers come off. And by this being outdoors and sometimes it gets windy, I want to make sure that everything stays in place. Okay, so one thing I wanted to let you guys know that some of these flowers, like the sunflowers, and just watching this from this camera view, those are some beautiful colors on these sunflowers. But sidebar, sorry for that. I don't remember where these flowers I purchased them from. Now the one that the sunflowers, there again, I think they might have came from a thrift store bag. It's a lot of things that I have had for years that just never had the motivation or the idea of what to do with them. And then now they are making their appearance. But this particular flower that you see me cutting, that is a Dollar Tree flower. And if you can see, they had this plastic around the tip, and it kind of made it look more, I don't know, gave me more that it should be more a bereavement type flower versus being an arrangement. So what I decided to do was just cut that plastic wrapping or tip that was on the flower, and then I was able to as you can see, hot glue it, and it did make it much better. So with these sunflowers, I want to kind of rotate the colors out, so that way you will, with this arrangement, you will not have all yellow flowers together and all orange flowers. So I'm rotating the colors. So I'm rotating from yellow to orange to yellow to orange. So that way it can be, or in my thought process, that it could be a nice color flow within the floral arrangement. So this pumpkin here, I only had one, and I love the colors on this pumpkin, these vibrant orange color. And I, for the life of me, cannot remember where I purchased these or where these pumpkins came from. But if you know, please comment below to let me know so I can go and try to get me some. The flower that I'm currently adding this is another flower that I wish I had more of. Currently what I'm doing is I am zip tying it to the wreath, because even after adding it, it felt like it wasn't secure enough and that it might fall off. So just to make sure it would not move, I just added the zip tie to the arrangement. And one of the little acorns, or if that's what not acorns, pine cones. One of those pine cones broke off, so I just hot glued it back to the arrangement. At this point in the wreath project, I was getting a little bit frustrated because it seemed like me trying to use just what I had in stock. In the beginning, everything was flowing so well, and now getting towards the end, nothing seems to go well with it. The goal was not to go and purchase anything new, just to use what I have. So it did become a challenge towards the end. So I decided that the wreath needed a little bit more greenery to break up more of the neutral colors in this wreath. So I decided just to add some of these leaves, the same leaves that you see attached to the sunflowers. And looking at these closely, now I know what these leaves remind me of. They remind me of fern leaves, not fern, but fern leaves. So now for the life of me, again, I couldn't remember, like, God, what do these remind me of? And now I do know. They are fern leaves. What I did notice is I have more of the orange sunflowers than I do the yellow sunflowers. So I am just considering placement of the orange flowers, so that way I could be strategic about but where I am adding them, so that way they will not be so overbearing on this arrangement. Okay, so now I have more greenery and the flowers added. This little piece here, I don't know what you would call this. It was just, I like the color as well on this, but it was just so hard to find somewhere to put it. So I decided to break the tip off and just add that and take the little tip that I broke off and just add it in a different place. Easy peasy. I found this cranberry colored ribbon, and the reason why I went with it is because if you look at the orange sunflowers, it does have some of that cranberry color in it as it's transitioning to the tips. And also it's a great way to break up the color scheme that I have as far as to the yellow and the oranges in this arrangement. I am not the best bow maker, so bear with me on that. I am learning though. Okay, so now I have added this bow, and it's not as full as I would like it to be. So what I am going to do is cut some more of this, a little small piece of this cranberry ribbon, and just make a loop. At first I was thinking, let me try to make maybe like some type of tuxedo type bow, but it just did not look well. So I'm just going to make another loop and hot glue it to the ribbon, and so it can have a more fuller look. I decided to also add more loops. I wanted to have the bow to be very large as far as to when it came to the bottom portion of this wreath arrangement. And this is just an easy fix. If you're not able to hot glue, or if the ribbon is not sticking as far as to when you are trying to add more of the loops, zip ties works just as well. Okay, and for the final touch, I decided to use this pre-made bow that came from Dollar Tree. The bows come in 3 in a pack, and they usually are with their fall collection. Now I'm going to dovetail the ends of the ribbon for both sides. And here's the finished look. I think it came out great. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Have a great day.